Hey, I'm Dadler.
And I'm Alex, and welcome to the third episode of a segment tutorial series, this time focusing on the Blitz play segment. We start by loading the segment save file. I suggest you watch the previous two tutorials on Trevor% and the countryside segment so that you are caught up with the general threads of the speed game and how segments work. You start the save file as Trevor, however, to start the segment you need to switch to Michael. After the cutscene is done, you spam jump to get closer to the car and then enter it. Drive forward a little bit so that Trevor has to run less distance. As you can see, I am pretty experienced with this drive as I take a frame perfect line out of Michael's gate. This entire mission is basically just driving and hoping that traffic doesn't mess you over. Grab some brake boosts along the way to build up some more speed on this drive. Although I take my sequence of brake boosts, there are many other ones that you can hit as well. This comes down to personal preference, but as long as you get up to speed quickly it should not make a difference. Until this intersection, this drive is exactly the same as on the mission Daddy's Little Girl in Trevor%, so this route really needs to be in your head. There are always 3 cars spawning on that intersection, so you want to avoid them but still take a nice speed with you for the next straight. Crashing with the tailgater, which is Michael's car, is pretty horrible. You end up losing at least 10 seconds with just one crash, just because the car takes so long to get up to max speed again.
I'm a crank, cannibalism, an incest kind of guy.
Oh, don't worry, T. They'd skip that talk and go straight to shock treatment with your ass.
You too chilled out to say my name, ya?
Don't park the car any closer than this, else you will mission fail. Showcased now as an alternate strat that you can do where you jump into the cutscene trigger. This is quite hard to pull off consistently though. The risk of doing this jump is quite high, as you can die during the dive out, although you have to mess up pretty badly for that to happen. Aiming at this specific angle leads to Michael clipping through the pillar and instantly activating the cutscene. Now you want to push Michael as long and as much as you possibly can, right down the stairs, where you want to get ahead of him and enter through the driver's side door. Pushing Michael in first person can be hard, so be sure to practice that.
Really important here, by the way, always face the camera on Laszlo.
Dismount the truck's cargo trailer by holding down H, or if you rebinded it, the same button as releasing the cars with the tow truck on pulling favors.
Really important here, by the way, always face the camera on Laszlo. Otherwise you would be locked into first gear, therefore losing you up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. Just like in the mission Franklin and Lamar, the traffic on this mission is hard scripted. The pattern of the cars spawning in will always be the same, so you just have to copy Alex's drive to not crash on this drive. Also note that while turning in this heavy truck, you just want to lift off W and not brake at all. Grabbing curb boosts is always appreciated. Curb boosts only give you a small gain of speed. However, they do eventually add up to a pretty big gain over the whole duration of this long and boring drive. Well, to use this boring drive well, you could do us a favor and like the video. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to mine and Alex's channel to not miss any speedrun related content in the future. But enough of the advertisement now, let's get actually back to the video. Shoot once now to scare away any NPCs.
On this corner in particular, you want to aim left of the pole, but make sure to avoid bumping into the pole as it would easily lose you around 10 to 15 seconds, because it takes a shit long time to get the truck back up to speed. If you don't feel like risking it, you can always take a wider turn, however that loses you some momentum and therefore time. Also pay attention to pets, because they can also mess you up and make you go into the pole.
Seeing as this traffic is hard scripted, the cars around you always follow the same pattern. Therefore, you always want to follow the drive displayed here to maximize the amount of curb boost that you can get. It may sound weird, but crashing into this car is actually the fastest way of getting around this corner. Otherwise, you would end up in the oncoming traffic and lose all of your momentum dodging other cars. And on this hill, you need the momentum.
I hate that closeted man whore on the TV. I hate him on the radio.
Jump out of the truck at the end of the drive to cancel Trevor's get out animation. Before the mission pass screen comes up, call a cab so that it arrives as soon as possible. This is called a quick cab.
With the quick cab call, you basically guarantee a cab spawning in after around 10 seconds. This area is quite notorious for bad car spawns, so getting anything like a muscle car or SUV before the cab arrives is good. You can see next to the map that we are out of sleep mode. There's a specific reason behind it. You will still be in sleep mode, by the way, if you don't start a phone call calling the quick cab. On this drive we need to wait for Lester's phone call coming in. Obviously we do that while driving to the next mission, Dead Man Walking. With the call coming in, we should get the money from the first jewel store heist. It is very important to get this phone call. Otherwise you're gonna have major problems on the Blitz play split, or even, if you are running classic, in gauntlets. After you receive the call, you don't need any other calls, so get into sleep mode. This drive shown on screen at the moment is just the beginner strat, or if you didn't get a bike spawn, the backup strat.
Davey, how you doing?
Being showcased now is another risky strat. If a bike spawns in on this drive, you can use it to fly up the wall to trigger Dave. You want a good bike for this drive. Make sure to follow the tier list of bikes we made in the Trevor % tutorial at the beginning of the mission friend request. Getting a bike as early as we did is also beneficial for the first route, because you don't have to wait for the forced slowdown. You will just drive further into the mission activation zone, so this saves around 6 seconds. But now back to the risky strat. You don't turn to get up this hill, but rather continue onwards. You might also be aware of blimp strat, which was used instead of the drive previously, but it is now considered obsolete because it's slower. Just now, you turn right and drive up the hill. You're aiming for the right side here to actually instantly start the mission. If you want, you can hold the character swap button to gain a bit more height from the jump here, but it's not necessary for succeeding. If you are off the left of Dave, you will get some extra voice lines, losing you 10 seconds in the process. Wiggle your mouse around during this cutscene to make Michael wake up earlier.
Let's take a peek. The fat deposits on his hips and abdomen suggest a fondness for bleeder burgers.
Oh, Jesus! God!
After waking up, you want to skip the whole entire shootout.
Hey, stop!
To get the pistol from this enemy, press right click to lock on him and then punch him once. This will instantly kill him. If he takes cover, just wait for him to get out of cover and one shot with melee and grab the half pack located nearby. Michael's power is usually pretty handy in this shootout, although it slows down the time. There's another health pack that you can pick up right here. And now you want to switch to first person to climb the stairs faster. You can just ignore every single enemy here and just run past them.
Asshole! Stay right there.
Pick up the health pack here and shoot the window and then climb out of it.
Come on, everyone! We've got
Anytime you want to break into a car, shoot the window first. This will prevent a lengthy stealing animation from happening, and so you can get quicker into the car and start the car quicker. Now you always want to shoot the guard coming in here, because he has a high chance of popping your tire. Depending on the helicopter and cop car spawns, you want to either drive through the hospital or take the route displayed here. They all end up in the sewer though, where you should already be in evasion mode. You want to lose the cops as soon as you drive into the sewers, otherwise you are definitely gonna lose time. We exit the sewer with this access ramp. Make sure to not turn too early, otherwise the car will flip on its roof. On this intersection around the highway, there will be late cop spawns, so make sure to avoid them at any cost, otherwise you will lose at least 50 seconds. If you still have a wanted level, don't drive up to Franklin too close, otherwise you will mission fail. Now open your phone. Put away the text pop-up so that you can instantly save warp after the mission.
Hey, Franklin.
Make sure to always save warp in first person. It is around a second faster because you don't have to wait for the phone animation to come up.
Now for one of the most boring sections of the entire run, yoga. Sadly, there are no strats for this section apart from doing the inputs as fast as possible and hoping that you get good dialogue. If you play on keyboard and mouse, you first want to put the mouse down for the first input and then follow it with S on the keyboard. If you do it in the opposite order, the yoga part will fail, and you will lose about 6 seconds in doing so. Just for the sake of learning, I am now going to give you the order in which the cycles work and what inputs you have to make. For the first cycle, it is mouse down and S, breathing, followed by mouse right and A on keyboard, breathing. Mouse to the bottom right, then A and W on keyboard, followed by breathing. That's the first out of 3 cycles done.
Throughout the whole mission there is some dialogue RNG, losing or gaining you 15 seconds.
Mouse to the bottom right, then A and S on keyboard. Farting.
Out through the mouth.
Mouse to top right, then A and W on keyboard. Exhale, Exhale, Mikael.
You feel that?
Mouse to bottom right, then A on keyboard. You know the drill.
The silly man forgets to breathe.
Let it out, baby.
Mouse up and A plus S on keyboard. Breathe.
Breathe, can't you?
And the second cycle is done.
There it is.
We really need someone to find a skip to that.
Emotions, all right.
Remember, children.
A third cycle. Mouse right, A on keyboard. Take a moment.
The air and release it.
Let it out. You're turning red.
Mouse down and S. Nice break.
Breathe, please, Michael.
Mouse bottom right. A plus S on keyboard. Nearly done.
They work, yes? Out with the breath.
Mouse down and S. This is boring. This is actually boring.
Sing, no?
This is boring. Mouse up and W. One last break.
And release it.
Let it go.
Mouse bottom right. Then A plus S on keyboard.
Being an asswipe?
Breathe. Mouse top left. Followed by W and D on keyboard. Breathe one last time and finally we are off to play the game again.
Let it out. Good.
We jump in third person through the house and switch to first person to run up the stairs. At the end, jump once and switch to third person to get closer to Jimmy quicker.
Did I pay for that?
Yeah, you smashed the other one, didn't you?
Try to push Jimmy a little bit here.
Threatening to molest
This is
all
another
my
example
buddies.
of different AI behavior.
Not my buddies.
You want to push Jimmy as far as possible and then run to the car as quickly as possible so that Jimmy also starts running.
So where's
This
your
is
friend?
different to the mission that is little girl.
Yeah, nice to see the kids are still hanging out at the burger joints. Me and the guys, we'd go down to the diner after class every day. Getting all the shakes.
Same drive as on Fame or Shame. You want to build up speed with a couple of brake boosts and good controlled driving.
Late to you.
No, you're trying to take me on some nostalgia trip. You're such a cliche.
Oh, says the dope
However,
smoking
here you turn
game
right
playing
to
living
drive
on
to
the
Burger
world's
Shop,
still
where
living
Jimmy will then
millennial.
collect some surely legal drugs, right Jimmy?
The monster's been exposed.
The hell are you talking about?
The real you. That bitter, vindictive old man. You pretend you're being a father, but you hate me, don't you? You really have to meet my friend? There he is, the friendly
Anyway,
neighborhood
we got to
drug
skip
dealer.
getting drugged. For that, we first call a cab to delay the dialogue to a certain point.
Can we just get back to the house, please?
Hello. Yeah, can you sit out a cab too?
Of course. Driver should be with you soon.
Great.
So,
As soon as the call ends, you want to call Amanda to have a reference point.
You're such a between the white lines.
As soon as Michael puts the phone down, you have to spam to get the phone up again. This will skip the whole jogging and you can drive to a predetermined location. However, you have to be on the road to have the cutscene trigger activating.
This is Amanda.
If you end up getting drugged for whatever reason, you can always use the 30 FPS cap to reduce the drugged effect.
Come on!
No!
While falling down from the sky, you want to aim for the tallest building, as this will make your fall shorter.
What do you want, Michael?
I always thought I was the good guy.
Now you want to turn around. Using the carbine rifle for tap movement here is very important, as it's the only weapon with a silencer. If you shoot the pistol, for example, you will pretty much instantly get cops. You run to the street to find a car. Don't spend a bunch of time searching for a perfect fast car. You will most likely save time by picking the first decent car you see.
When stealing the car, you want to hit the person that drove the car so that you won't get a wanted level. Lock your FPS to 30 by the way here, to lower the drug effect.
Hello? I'm back!
After finding out that Michael's family abandoned him, call a hangout with Trevor and run to the car parked here to get into it. With hanging up of the phone, you are off to switch to Trevor and then back to Michael. This is called a hangout warp, which you should be familiar with already. Now we want to go for the quick text again. Sadly, in this case, the quick texting did not work. This is dependent on a long switch animation, which is RNG. If you actually end up getting the right switch animation, showcased here like on casing, you will have to wait with your inputs until the brake lights flash, otherwise you are going to reset the global text timer to 20 seconds. With the quick texting, you only have it on 7 seconds. Within this time frame of the 7 seconds, you want to put your phone into sleep mode to guarantee yourself a text coming in and not a call. Go for a couple of brake boosts and then go full speed into the yellow dot, because it's going to remove all of your initial velocity. Skip the 2 cutscenes and then jump once in third person. Switch into first person and then jump on this lighted area. This is the perfect reference to jump as far into the mission activation zone as possible. Oh yeah, and obviously you're gonna activate it quicker then.
Isn't this nice? You didn't tell me we were done.
Aim in between these tables to get into cover much quicker and outdistance Dave therefore. Now you can freely move around. You want to run in first person to get to Davy's car quicker. Jump in between these 2 pillars and switch into third person to elongate the jump and enter Dave's car from the passenger side. Now that you are already in Dave's car, you can drive up to him and shorten his way to the car. But be careful and make sure to drive slowly to him, otherwise he will get spooked.
Nice car.
And now we are off to drive to the helicopter.
I need you to make a couple of
You don't want to do a mid-drive here, otherwise you're gonna overshoot this corner.
Hey, I barely know that kid.
Dave's car, the Oracle, is pretty good at brake boosting.
or we'll send some G
Although being so heavy and such a luxurious car, it handles pretty great. The water drainage on the side of the highway also makes for a good curb boost opportunity.
I thought you might say that, so we had him picked up.
That's a dumb move, Dave. Real fucking dumb.
Make sure to remember this brake boost for the next tutorial already. It is really essential for the first drive of the Deep Inside segment.
Keeping an eye on the proceedings. Phillips flies you in, you rappel down, make the
In
extraction.
this part, you want to drive into the oncoming traffic.
With you, we've got
Usually it makes the drive harder.
And you brought
But in this
Trevor.
case, we can actually get a
We're
brake
telling
boost here.
all cozy with the FIB.
You'll need discreet support. We'll maintain control of the situation.
Now Alex starts to do a wide turn.
Control? Yeah, good luck
With the racing
controlling
line, he takes
discreet
as much speed as
However
possible with him.
controllable and discreet he'll be,
As soon as you drive into this activation zone, the control gets taken away.
you know what, you better keep a low
Just for
profile.
flying, Alex likes to switch to controller. That, however, is just personal preference. You can also fly with keyboard. During this long flight, you want to gain enough altitude while not losing any speed. Therefore, with keyboard and mouse, I usually only tap numpad 8. Why numpad 8, I hear you ask? By default, the numpad buttons are mapped as the flight controls. Of course, not every keyboard has numpad buttons. Therefore, you will see many runners actually do the controller inputs. Well, that's about that. Let's focus on the gameplay now. We are heading to the IAA tower. You want to just about clear the building to trigger the cutscene on the other side of the building. If you are too high, the cutscene will not trigger. After jumping, you want to hold the jump button a bit longer. This will elongate your jump. This part here can sometimes be really buggy. And now we have one of Rockstar's favorite, the unskippable cutscene. I rather speed up. The dialogue line 18 inches deep inside is your reference point. From there on, you can start spamming left click.
See how you feel with this is 18 inches deep inside.
And now also the character swap button for Franklin. This shot will always be aligned, so just spam left click. You want to kill 6 enemies with the first round of ammo. This starts the get out animation of Michael and Mr. K. In the meantime, you are reloading and then you can take down 2 more enemies. Reload the sniper rifle before switching to Michael. After taking down the second enemy, you want to switch back to Michael. He has the AP pistol with a better fire rate. You want to shoot the last enemy into the leg, so you can actually skip a voice line. After the cutscene, you are shooting with Franklin. You want to hit the helicopter 3 times to make them crash. Or, if you are really lucky, you will hit the pilot and do a one shot out of this. Then we switch to Trevor to actually fly the helicopter. Now we are going to confuse the AI. We want to fly in between these 2 buildings so that the AI actually tries to follow us. If you watch closely on the map, the helicopter pilot's AI is so focused on us that they decide to crash into the building. That is what I call dedicated and passionate about your job. Now 1 extra enemy of the helicopter spawn. You now want to somewhat fly sideways so that Michael can actually shoot that helicopter. To make it a bit easier, you should slow down a bit with the helicopter so that the enemy can catch back up to you and Michael starts shooting this enemy. As soon as the helicopter is down, you are free to land on the lot again. Seeing as we killed the helicopter quite early here, we are not delayed by dialogue. Therefore, as soon as we land, the cutscene starts. After the cutscene we have a bit of idle time until the mission actually finishes. In that time it doesn't matter what you do. So I rather speed up. If standing under a roof while switching, you will gain time. The switch animation takes less time. As soon as the mission pass screen is done, you want to try switching to Trevor. Trevor will always be in this helicopter. Really important here, go for quick texting. Don't do any inputs until the house icon pops up. At this point you will most likely still be in sleep mode. Therefore, after around 7 seconds, the text should come in. This flight path is not too difficult, so I rather speed it up. We do not save warp here because you want to receive a bunch of text on this flight to clear the text queue, which you could not do with save warping. To be exact, you want to receive at least 3 texts or emails and 1 phantom text. A phantom text is a text that you should usually receive on a different character, giving you just basically wait time. Wiggling the helicopter makes you a bit faster while flying. Make sure to gently touch down here. Before falling down, make sure to equip a gun. You can use the aiming to control yourself better while falling down. And now for a really long mission back to Alex.
Although this drive might seem pretty straightforward, there's a certain difficulty to get Trevor's truck going in the direction you want it to go. Brake boosts make the truck a bit unstable, which would result in you not being able to control the car and probably crashing. Random traffic can block you from making a turn in this intersection, where you want to keep as much speed as possible. This is a time where the route gets creative. You turn left across the grass to get into the sewer. This jump is tricky, you want to land flat so you don't end up losing weight out of the back of the truck. Then it's a task of grabbing curb boost off the side of the sewer to gain more speed. There's unfortunately only one brake boost you can take during the drive through the sewer. We drive up the excess ramp to then get to the train tracks, shortening the drive a whole lot.
Alternatively, you can use the left grass patch here to jump onto the train tracks instantly.
Be aware that there will be a train spawning on the right here. It is however down to RNG if it will spawn early or late. If you get blocked on this turn, simply drive a bit further and then turn right. Arriving at the port, the fun will now begin. One of the hardest strats in GTA 5 speedrunning, the legendary Floyd push, is happening now. You first need to park a bit more to the left to not bump into Trevor's truck later and delay the dialogue. Then get out of your truck and start walking towards these barrels. Take cover on these to get into the truck in time, because if you are not quick enough, the dialogue will have progressed already and you won't be able to enter the truck. As soon as you are in the truck, you have two ways of pushing Floyd, starting with the front or starting with the back. However you decide, you want to push Floyd on the first push as straight as possible to not spook any dock workers. Turn and pick him up with the next push in the opposite direction, then you pushed him the first time, now you switch sides again. As you can see here, when starting with the front, you can also control the direction of Floyd a bit.
Just to make it a bit more clear, I'm going to replay that.
What's the Coast Guard response like?
The difficult thing about this strat is that Floyd can always randomly start walking and continue his dialogue while you are pushing him. It might not be random but based on your proximity to Floyd, but that's not proven yet. You can interrupt the dialogue however by outdistancing him. This will also usually make him come to a stop again. Please note that bad Floyd pushes still save about 40 seconds over not attempting the push at all. Worst thing that can happen is that you can mission fail, which will set you back about 1.5 minutes. If you do mission fail, revert to the old strat of pushing Floyd while being in first person. The truck cannot be entered again from a mission fail and therefore cannot be used again. This also makes it pretty tedious to practice this strat. Carrying on with the mission, you now want to warp into the crate handler. For that you want to stay on the exact point we are standing. At the moment the blue dot appears, you want to press F and do no other inputs. The handler is one of those vehicles that you can wiggle boost with. Move the steering keys from left to right and wiggle the handler. This will give you a slight speed increase.
Also don't hit any seagulls, as they will also mission fail you.
On this drive you want to adjust the height of the claw that you pick up the crates with already. This way you can take the crates instantly.
I know why they call them handlers, because they handle like a dream. This ain't a toy.
Deliver the crate into the marked zone and make sure to not hit any dock workers, as this will mission fail you. There is a strat that involves locking your FPS so low that you literally can push one crate with the other.
I'm sorry, but this is as close
However,
as you
this strat is really risky and loses time in 90% of the cases rather than gaining any. For the second crate, you want to pick it up while driving to not lose any momentum. We come from the other side to just go straight now.
Clamp it on now.
Hey, whose dick you have to suck to get this job? Being a stevedore used to be back-breaking work. Now you're paid brain surgeon bucks to push an oversized.
As soon as the crate is delivered, you want to get out of the handler to run up to the crane.
Deborah's old friends with the...
Okay, it's up to the top of the crane for me.
Now again for a bit of movement tech. You run in first person to the crane, then switch to third person as soon as you are on the ladder. When the climbing animation is done, you switch back to first person and run up the stairs. Third person ladder, and then you fall off the edge in first person into the yellow dot.
Switch to third person just before landing on the yellow dot to be in third person for the climb back up.
If you do this in third person, however, there's a high chance of missing the yellow dot and falling to your death. You lock your FPS now to 30 to get the crane to move faster on up and down movement. Also, I would advise you to change the camera perspective to the one we are using here. Pick the crates up and deliver them without them bumping into any containers, else you will mission fail. The movement here is locked into one direction. You can press S and A at the same time, which will prioritize the sidewards movement, but not S and D.
Line up the second red container at the end.
As soon as you are done with the crate pushing section, you want to uncap your FPS and climb the ladder.
Wow, I mean this is some view, ain't it?
You can jump once in this exact spot to the yellow dot. Any other jump will throw you off the crane and kill you. As soon as you are in the yellow dot, you want to take 3 pictures.
No need to have good photo skills, however. You just want to take any 3 pictures and then flick your camera on the last one. That also counts.
As soon as the 3 pictures are sent to Ron, you want to pull out your gun and mission fail. This sets you to the last checkpoint, which is literally down next to the truck. So jump once and then sprint to the truck.
If you aim at the guard, you instantly mission fail, by the way, without shooting.
It's over on the other dock.
You can, if you want, already pre-dial the by the book starting number here. You cannot wiggle boost with this truck, so attempting it will only lose you time.
You're a failure. You're in a loveless relationship.
What do you mean? Loveless? I love Deborah.
If she loved you, she'd be here, wouldn't she? But she's not.
You know I'm insecure.
You've got a dead-end job.
What? Dead end? No.
Floyd, it's dead end.
On this drive you just want to look out for any cars that spawn on the docks that you can use for the next drive. Arriving at the Merryweather dock, usually a bunch of cars will spawn and you have to know which one is the quickest, so good car knowledge is very important here. For these spawns you ideally want a car that is rear wheel drive that you can brake boost with. Shoot the car window in a way that it is not angled towards any tire, because you can sometimes shoot through the interior to pop a tire.
Seeing as there weren't any good car spawns, Alex now looks down to spawn a car. In this case, the Izzy. From here on, in a full game run, you want to look out for a gauntlet.
You want to enter the car in first person. This is very important for you when you are getting out. However, it doesn't matter too much in any percent, but you want to look for a gauntlet on this drive.
The ship, Merryweather.
The Izzy is a front-wheel drive car, meaning it cannot brake boost.
Put a man with a gun on the bridge next to it and get a guy on board. I think we got a good chance of taking over.
Way it looks to me, there's a container below deck. They're guarding it for the government, keeping it off the books. Serious military technology, most like.
Yeah, of course. I just found a manifest. They're testing something out at sea. It's gotta be that. Now, get back to work. The TPI conglomerate ain't thriving. There's only one man responsible.
Of course, yeah. But I'll start pulling all the intel I can get on Merryweather at the same time. I got a file here somewhere.
The sewer connects you fairly quick from the port to Trevor's safe house. Try to carry as much speed when going in and out of the sewer, otherwise you will lose momentum, which is very difficult to build up again. When you arrive at Trevor's safe house, you want to get out of the car, equip a gun and roll up the stairs 3 times. Being in first person, which we started all the way at the port, starts the cutscene in the house a fair bit quicker. We select the freighter option and every standard option otherwise.
Okay, all right.
Now for the most inconsistent text manipulation in the whole run. The mini-sub manipulation. This is the gameplay of Unnamed. After the mission pass screen comes up, you want to jump down this railing. In the meantime, the phone will come up as a call to Michael. As soon as the second ring starts, you want to cap your FPS to 15, then wait for Michael to speak, hang up and uncap. Then instantly pull your phone up. Exactly 20 seconds after you hung up Michael's call, you can put your phone down. This thread is pretty much used by no one in the GTA 5 speedrunning community. If you will fail this manipulation, it will be down to RNG what text you actually receive. Also, seeing as we are not freeing the text queue, you will probably have problems receiving texts on the Blitz play split. So high risk, high gain, right? Well, this thread sometimes saves 40 seconds, sometimes 20, depending on the text cycle. As a more reliable way, you can just wait for the text at a specific point if you haven't received the mini subtext. But why is it so important to receive that text in the first place? After Hood Safari, we want to instantly spawn the mini submission, otherwise we would lose valuable time waiting for this text. So Wade's text for him finding a minisub is actually the text that unlocks the prep mission minisub. We take, just mentioning it now, the same route as on repossession to take the jump here with the car. Damn Alex, you nearly landed in the truck. Remember the specific point for the text I mentioned? Well, it is right around here. You do not want to drive any closer to the mission starting point, otherwise you will not receive any texts. And well, as you can see, Alex got unlucky here. For any % classic and Death Wish, the gauntlet can be stored on this mission. Obviously you need to find the gauntlet for that. For entering the mission, I would suggest driving left of the van, leaving enough space from the fence for Trevor to climb out of the car. Sprint towards the van and enter it. In any %, you want to store the gauntlet right now in the garage, seeing as you are Franklin. We take off with the usual mid-drive brake boost combo to get up to speed as quick as possible. In this mission, it is important to let the dialogue progress and not interrupt it by powering quickly. The yellow dot that is supposed to stop you only spawns in when the dialogue is finished. Actually, you only need 2 voice lines. Try to aim a little bit more to the right when hitting it to shorten the way for this part. Here, you are locked to walking speed. We want to switch to first person to have a bit more control over where we are going. We follow Trevor and Lamar to the yellow dot. After the cutscene, you spawn as Franklin. However, you want to switch to Trevor instantly. Select the carbine rifle and shoot all the enemies that Alex shoots here. They are the minimum amount to progress enough to run to the next checkpoint. If you want to be extra sure, you can shoot the gang members in the first car arriving as well. Otherwise, it could be that Lamar and Franklin fail to shoot them down in the time frame you have with running. While running, you should switch to first person to just be that little bit quicker. Having Trevor's special ability activated from that point onwards negates any damage that you might take, so be sure to have that toggled on. Run into this alleyway now. As you can see here, we first collect the next checkpoint in the mission and shortly after that mission fell. That puts us back to this exact spot. It also warps Lamar and Franklin towards us. Jump down the hill twice in this downhill section here, and then shoot once to spook the NPCs sitting on top of the sea sharks, and then also to enter tap movement. Run to the last sea shark and get onto it, so Lamar and Trevor have to walk less distance. Now, after the cutscene, you want to get ready to hit a tight window for exploding a helicopter. You can either do this with the C4 like Alex does, or do it with the micro SMG while aiming at the back rotor. When doing the C4 strat, you want to take out the car on the left, otherwise it could shoot the C4 in your hand and it would explode right there, killing you in the process. The lineup for both is something that you have to figure out yourself by practicing a lot. Now you want to drive on the right side to rubber band Lamar and Franklin behind you. When shooting at the back rotor, that would take a bit more time than the C4 strat. However, it's a bit more reliable because you don't have to depend on one single throw. As a backup for the C4 strat though, you can slot in behind the helicopter and pray that you hit it. But why did we take out the helicopter in the first place? Well, from around here, under the bridge, you need to escape your wanted level. And turns out, that is nearly impossible with a helicopter following you. After the "let's split" voice line, you want to follow Lamar a bit and then turn right to avoid the police boat heading for Lamar. In some really unlucky cases, the boat actually wants to drive towards you. That is RNG dependent though, and you can do literally nothing about it. Then you drive along the shore until this point to spawn in the mini submission, after losing the cops and passing the mission. As you can see on the map right now, the mini submission is already spawned in. Therefore, we are driving straight towards it. The vehicle of the mission, the mini sub, gets spawned earlier. Therefore, we can shoot it down, while driving a bit more slowly to actually hit the shots. We dive off the Sea Shark and want to get into the mini-sub. For that, we quickly climb onto the mini-sub, hold Shift, W and spam F while getting in. This makes it so we can drive around with the mini-sub with the hatch opened. This is not only cosmetical though. It makes the mini-sub unable to dive, and holding Shift makes it dive up out of the water at the maximum rate. Therefore, we have less water resistance and can drive quicker with the mini-sub. If the hatch closes for some reason, you can always do the dolphin strat as a backup. For that, you dive down a bit and then hold Shift the whole time. This is by the way taken from my Twitch channel. If you want more speedrunning content, make sure to leave a follow. In this part of the mission, you basically just hold W. So I am going to speed it up a bit. If you had something to put on the W key, you can use this also as a toilet break. During that time, if you haven't pre-dialed already, you can do this now. The number is
328-555-0150.
Call that number IRL and ask for nudes from Alex. You ascend to the top and drive into the yellow dot to trigger the next cutscene. After the cutscene, you're forced to drive the freshly stolen submarine to the hiding spot. As you can see, you can also pre-dial here, as Alex does now. The truck with the mini-sub on top of it is one of the few trucks that can actually wiggle boost. So by wiggling the truck, you gain a bit of speed. It's the same principle as with the handler in scouting the port.
I didn't turn anyone on to anything. You threatened and cajoled and tricked me.
You don't want to cut? Just walk away.
I can't walk away. You're robbing.
If you block Floyd's path at the end, the mission will end about 1 second faster. After getting out the truck, you want to shoot once to enter tab movement. You want to get as quickly as possible, as far away as possible from Floyd, because that ends the mission quicker. As soon as the icons on the map reappear, you are done with the mission. Remember that staying under any roof while switching will speed up the switch. Try it here therefore. So after the mission pass screen, you can instantly dial the by the book number that we pre-dialed already. To get the number back, you basically just press the star button. As soon as the phone call connects, you switch to Michael. Starting the mission, you want to skip the first cutscene. Then jump forward down the stairs to enter Dave's car quicker.
The guy's your neighbor. Caesar's Place, Rockford Hills.
From there on, you turn around and drive left off the stunt jump through the fence into the sewer.
Yeah, the more I see of your boss, the more I like him.
I was you, I wouldn't be so critical of who others associate.
The sewer is, just like in the mission scouting the port, a more direct way for our arrival. Along the way, we grab some more brake boosts and curb boosts to get more speed going and try to avoid either spinning out or crashing. Spinning out is actually easy to do on the grass part here. I think I can leave you all with watching the drive to yourself for a bit.
Townley's taking scores again. The Los Santos reboot. If we didn't control the situation and he'd unearthed this connection, then what?
Then Trevor flips out, beheads me, kills my family, or raises them as his own. I don't know which is worse. Anyway, any of that could happen at any time.
Slow down. Let's think this through. What does he know?
He knows I'm alive. He knows I got money. And now he knows I'm working with the
We pull into this street right here, slowing down gently, and then drive full speed into the yellow dot. Now, you skip 2 cutscenes. After that, you want to select the wrench for the torture sequence. This is then followed by another 2 cutscenes, because otherwise it wouldn't be right for Rockstar. The wrench has a skippable cutscene that saves around 3 seconds compared to every other torture method. Now you drive to Chumash, the place many of you might know from the Fleeca heist from GTA Online. This drive is pretty straightforward. We do, however, drive an unexpected path in the speedrun. We head into the oncoming traffic. Why? Well, because we want to hit the 3 brake boosts in succession. These are just on this side of the road, not on the other one. Getting quickly from point A to B is vital in saving time. Well, anyway, now it's just driving to the yellow dot.
Yeah, well, according to my eyes, Trevor's your problem, Dave, as much as he is mine.
He's not a problem at all. We're monitoring him. Has he said anything about Brad?
Fuck yeah, he has. Plenty. I keep changing the subject. You know, he
Upon arrival, you want to let the car face against the wall here to interrupt the dialogue. Now, really important. It is only 1 cutscene, and after that, you choose the wrench again in the torturing scene. We know the person that needs to be assassinated already. We want to zoom in on this guy and shoot him.
I had a feeling. It'll check out.
Well, we've
After all the cutscenes, we are Trevor sitting in his truck again. We want to turn around, but now we actually take the stunt jump, because we want to jump across the sewer. Really important here is to not crash in this area, as you will definitely come to a complete stop.
You look great. You look nah, you're fine.
In the meantime, we found a faster way by just continuing straight here.
You look great. Let me see the mirror.
You drive to the airport now to deliver Mr. K and pick up any brake boosts you can get. And then it's time again for Alex to speak you through the next split.
Who are you? And why are you helping me? I told you, don't like being told what to do. Then why are you working with FIB? I'm a double agent. Yeah? And who you work for? IAA? The IAA want you dead as well, don't you remember? The Marshal? Global Poo? Who? Global Poo? Did you say Global Poo? I work...
Starting now with the most complicated split in the entire game, the Blitz split. This split includes many missions, which can be done in any order. You have to react to the way the RNG plays out. Which RNG? Well, here already comes the first part. If you get good RNG, you're going to get a tow truck on the drive here. However, in this bit, we are showing you what to do when you do not get a tow truck.
You want to drive to the same FIB lot that you ended 3's company at.
On the way there, you need to get the text from Steve Haynes that spawns the Blitz play intro mission. In the time you either want to find a garbage truck already if you have to wait for the text, or if you already have the text you instantly go into the mission. If there is a garbage truck past this intersection, it is worth to take. If not, continue to the B mission. After the cutscene you spawn in Trevor's truck. If you already entered with a garbage truck, it is on the left side. In this case, we do not yet have a garbage truck.
Here's Trevor.
So we want to drive onto the street to first leave the area and second get a garbage truck. If you cannot get a garbage truck to spawn, you can re-roll the spawn table by entering the reactor mode and leaving it.
Showcase now here is the actual DM reroll.
Wanna reroll?
How did you not see me?
You deliver the truck, then get into the car that spawned on the lot. You want to set this vehicle as a getaway vehicle.
Sanitate.
When you get out of the car, you have about a 0.5 second time frame to switch to Franklin, else you will have to switch after the mission pass screen. But now let's go back a bit to see what you have to do if you get a free tow truck from the street. You then drive with the tow truck into the B mission marker.
By the way, a small tow truck doesn't work for setting up.
We handled your little immigration problem, whatever the fuck it was. We're straight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
After the cutscene, you get into the tow truck, outdistance the mission and look for a garbage truck already. If you get the holy grail of RNG, you will find a garbage truck on the hill going to the drop-off point. After the cutscene, you stay in Trevor's truck looking for a garbage truck. While outdistancing the mission, you always want to keep your camera pointing towards the tow truck to not despawn it. This is vital in actually setting up the tow truck, as you haven't delivered it yet. As you can see, we got pretty lucky here. We take the garbage truck, deliver it, and then get out of the garbage truck into the tow truck to deliver that. Now you have successfully done the 2 vehicle preparations that you need to do and are free to switch to Franklin. With this Franklin switch we have a bunch of different possibilities. If you get a switch in Vinewood, you want to now head towards the Boiler Suits heist prep.
Oh yeah, and also take the adder. In a separate video I will cover all the switches and all the routes that you should take.
If you spawn like we do here on the beach, you want to go to the mask setup mission.
After masks, you always do assassination. I made a graphic here to show you how you should progress with each switch. Do not start the masks mission if you don't have the assassination text. Otherwise, you will reset the text timer and therefore lose 20 seconds.
After you purchase the masks, you want to head to the first assassination mission. Really important here is to put the phone down before arriving to the mission. Otherwise you will be locked outside your vehicle with the slow walking speed set.
This is not a soft lock though, you can fix it by outdistancing the mission. Ah yes, the familiar cutscene. Skip it, then run to your left where the car that you entered with is now repositioned to. In our case, because we got Franklin's Buffalo with the switch, we are going to use this. If you get any really slow car with the switch, it's useful to keep that in mind, but stick to this car for the first instance. Switching cars for this short drive will rather lose you time than gain any. Seeing as this mission here is the first assassination mission, we need to take out a person. For that, we drive to a hotel entry. If you actually got a car with the switch that can brake boost, then go and use them. It will actually make a difference. Arriving at the yellow dot, we come to a complete stop with abusing the special ability of Franklin. We then get out of the car, climb into the parking lot and run into the yellow dot. Anyway, we have a timer in the bottom right counting down. This is spare time that we want to use to maximum effect. Do not use Franklin's special ability in this time, otherwise you will lose time. We drive to Ammunition to buy weapons for the Blitz play mission. I'm going to split the things that you should buy into 2 categories. Absolutely necessary for the Blitz play shootout are the assault rifle and the carbine rifle with extended clip and a bit more ammo. The rocket launcher with full ammo. At least 15 sticky bombs. And full proximity mines. Suggested for a full game run and a bit more help on the Blitzplay shootout. The grenade launcher. The AP pistol with a suppressor. A suppressor for the normal pistol. And super heavy armor. All the additional stuff you want to buy in the spare time and with the spare money comes down to personal preference. For example, Alex and I personally buy all the weapon upgrades for the rifles. Well, all except the silencer, because that actually reduces the damage. If you bought all of this successfully, then it's time to either switch for a good car if you ended up with a bad car on the switch, or to get into your already good car and drive back to the parking garage. As you can see, Alex got lucky and saw a 9F. Be aware that not being near the target after the timer runs out will fail the mission and reset the timer, therefore losing 1 minute and 30 seconds. We want to place our car in a way that we can instantly take off as soon as the target is killed. Now Alex starts aiming. The aiming is intentional. For forcing the spawn that we want, we aim at the statue. Then, as soon as the target spawns, which is when the timer runs out, we take it out and drive off. remember that we had the beach switch? This is why we now head left towards the boiler suit setup. Just as a reminder, here's the graphic again. As always, pick up a couple of brake boosts and don't crash. Arriving at the boiler suits mission, you get out of your car, buy 3 times the same boiler suit and leave again. Really simple mission. But now a really important part. Prevent powering for the first 20 seconds and aim with the weapon. That prevents the text timer from resetting. Therefore, driving towards Trevor's safe house, you will most definitely get the Merryweather text if you haven't gotten it already. You need this text to spawn in the mission that we are heading for.
Man, you got off lucky, homie.
Arriving at the safe house, we try to turn ourselves around, to not have to rely on the game turning us around, as it is pretty inconsistent. For running up the stairs, now the only way to be fast up the stairs. Shoot with the weapon while running up the stairs until you are in the safe house and another cutscene starts. Starting now with the Merryweather Heist. Run out of the door as Trevor and jump off the railing again. Then reposition the car to let Franklin get into the car just that tiny bit quicker. And now we are off to sink one of the container ships in the port. This driving sequence here, and of course the drive tool here, is why you want to get a good car on the assassination countdown.
I got an eye for details, kid. Little details like your brick of glow being drywall.
Okay, man, I'm grateful for that, dog, but buying cocaine is a whole different thing from sinking a container ship into a harbor.
Not really, kid. It's all about what's inside.
Cool, so what's the thing, man?
I don't know what it is, but I know it's important. You heard of Merryweather?
Yeah, maybe.
Merryweather Security Consulting, the company our government uses to fight its wars and protect.
As you can see here, the side curb here is pretty high and allows for good curb boosting. We obviously use every single bit of speed that we can gain. Arriving at the yellow dot, you usually want to pull the handbrake and turn around to get Franklin closer to the stairs. Running down the stairs, we want to be in first person. However, just before hitting the next yellow dot, we have to switch to third person. Why? The scope of the sniper otherwise wouldn't be zoomed in after the cutscene onto those enemies, losing a couple of seconds in the process.
Alright, F, I'm in position. Damn, that's a long way up. So make sure I don't run into any trouble when I get there. Fucking Trevor.
The enemies that we talked about are here. Usually the shot penetrates and therefore we have the time to take out one more enemy in the time frame we're given. It doesn't matter though if it doesn't penetrate. You will still be able to shoot all 3 shots. Now we play Michael on the boat.
Keep an eye on me, okay?
We throw the first sticky bomb onto the marked spot and head downstairs. Take out the next 2 enemies that would otherwise detect you and then, while aiming, press G to throw a sticky bomb. This saves you good time instead of selecting the sticky bomb and then reselecting the pistol. We just want to place the sticky bombs as quickly as possible without alerting anyone, therefore killing everyone that might be able to see us. For the last sticky bomb we are tasked inside, where we stand on the yellow dot until it triggers a cutscene. This only works as soon as Franklin's "I'll clear the entrance for you" line is completed. Now we want to shoot all the enemies in order. The 2 enemies on the ship, then the enemies in the 2 arriving cars. While the NPCs are still sitting in the cars, you can get a penetrating shot to kill 2 of them at the same time. And you also want to kill them while they are still in the car, otherwise they will run around and be a pain to hit. Pretty helpful in the shootout, as it is pretty dark outside, is the thermal scope that is attached to Franklin's sniper rifle. You can trigger it with pressing E. And now for the most important shot to not lose any vital time, the helicopter. You place your crosshair at this exact point and hope that you hit the helicopter pilot with the first shot. It is, however, a really hard shot to hit. Even the current world record run took 5 shots to hit. Now that you got rid of the helicopter, Michael is ready to run outside again. He runs down the stairs, and with a slight delay, the enemies start to spawn in order. You also want to take them out in the exact order in which Alex takes them out, to not lose any time in this shootout. For the last enemy, there's a catch though. You have to wait until Michael is on the bottom floor to shoot him, otherwise Michael will stop again and lose you 2 seconds in the process. And now you spam left click and phone up to skip a cutscene and call the detonation. As Michael, we now need to search for the device we actually want to rob. It always spawns in the same spot. It is, however, indicated that you're getting closer with a beeping. Switching now to Trevor in the minisub. And yes, every single minisub part is boring. It is now literally just driving or swimming. What do you call a minisub if it's moving? Anyway, driving until you pick up the device. Really important here is to not hit Michael, otherwise he would instantly die and therefore fail the mission. You want to lower carefully onto the target, otherwise it could get you stuck. And then it's turning around to drive to point B to deliver it. Yeah, not really the most interesting part in the whole run. You can, however, to save 2 seconds across the whole entire drive, swim, whatever you wanna call it, do dolphin strats. Now you drive or swim into the yellow dot and we are done with the Merryweather Heist. Looking back now at the footage, it's actually a yellow circle. Now, remember that we either set up a garbage and a tow truck or a garbage truck and a getaway vehicle? This comes into play now. First covering if you did not get a tow truck. Therefore, you want to switch to Franklin now. We are doing this whole sequence here because the getaway vehicle is already set up. We steal the tow truck from where the actual mission spawns. For that, we smash into the guy that is wrenching on the car next to the tow truck. If we weren't doing that, he would pull us out of the tow truck and lose us even more time. You also don't get any cops. Well now, with powering on the gear shift like we did on pulling favors and Trevor percent, we drive towards the FIB lot again. Keep in mind that this whole sequence of not getting a free tow truck actually loses you about 1 minute 20 because you have to go and get one again. Arriving at the FIB lot, we drop off the tow truck, set up a ledge buffer on the tow truck itself, and run with the phone up towards the car that is parked in the lot. We get into that and outdistance the tow truck. For the ledge buffer to work at all, you need above 110 FPS, at least. As soon as the mission pass screen comes up, we want to turn around again and place our vehicle in a way in which we can instantly activate the ledge buffer that we set up previously. Therefore, we park the car here, wait for the phone call, and then press F and spam Q at the same time. As soon as the phone gets taken down, the ledge buffer activates and we fly towards the Blitz play setup. But now, let's go back again. There was another possibility, which was getting a free tow truck. In that case, after the Merryweather Heist, we switch to Michael. In this scenario, we already set up a garbage and a tow truck, leaving us missing with a getaway car. We want to steal a car that is able to be set as a getaway vehicle and drive towards the alley where we want to set it up at. I am currently using footage from a real run from myself. Setting up the car is requiring the pop-up in the top left to confirm that the location can be used to set up the getaway car. As soon as that pops up, we call Franklin to set the car up, exit the car and put down the phone. Please note that electric cars, trucks and vans cannot be set up as a getaway vehicle. So now we are without a car and wanting to change that. Steal any car that is close to you by shooting the window first. We now drive, after receiving a call to start the Blitz play mission, towards the FIB lot and enter the mission. And here we are, the final mission of the Blitz play segment. We get into the tow truck and drive to the yellow dot. Along the way, we get curb boosts as if they were for sale.
Alright, T, I'm in position. What's the ETA?
After, who would have guessed it, the cutscene, we can execute a perfect handbrake turn in a garbage truck.
There they are, incoming. Get ready to do your thing. Michael, you better get on your
We just need to block the 2 lanes of the road, so this is the fastest way of doing it.
Get the truck in position.
Switch to first person here to be in first person after the cutscene.
Just stop in the road and stay there.
I'm stopped. You're on, F.
Then hold W to crash into the security truck. Aim with the sticky bomb onto this exact space in first person to let the sticky bomb trigger without getting out of the tow truck. After the explosion, we want to kill the hostages as quickly as they can die. As soon as the "sounds like they're coming in numbers" voice line starts, we want to kill Michael to reset everything to where we want to have it. If you are doing a full run, you should hospital warp here. Then we pre-place 5 proximity mines with this exact lineup that you need to copy. With those, we can already make our way to the back alley without worrying about the cops in front, as they will be blown up by the mines. Only left now for the helicopter to spawn is kill 1 enemy from the back alley. It is vital to kill that helicopter before it lands, as it otherwise would spawn more enemies if it landed. After taking out the helicopter, we need to take out 3 more enemies. Then we progressed enough to be ready to switch to Michael. Kill 3 enemies with him and we are off to switch to Trevor. The enemies on the roof are now spawned in, which you want to get rid of with the sniper rifle. Done? Then switch back to Franklin to take out another 3 enemies. Now the next helicopter spawns. You want to shoot that one down quickly as well. With this one shot down, Now, no more enemies are spawning. So take out the rest of the enemies quickly and run towards the red container here.
This could be our chance to go. I'll deliver the pawns. F, you dump the trash truck.
We set up another buffet ledge grab here and enter the garbage truck. With the garbage truck, we drive towards the location where we left our getaway vehicle. However, the getaway vehicle isn't really necessary to use. You can also set up the ledge buffer on the van. We throw a sticky bomb to the wall, then get out of the truck spamming Q to activate the buffered ledge grab. While flying away, we press G to detonate the C4 and therefore also outdistance the garbage truck. Put the phone down again and you're off to the last drive. Now it's just driving to the yellow dot. Oh yeah, and without any stunting please, cause there is no checkpoint here which could save you if you fall down the hill. And with that, we are done. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.
So. Scouting, du Ficker.
Here's the AP pistol with a better fire rate. Oh Jesus. Oh man. Of course. Guns make jobs. My guy, America moment.
Ui, Schulz.